The genesis of Sarmat-T. The RS-28 Sarmat is not simply a missile, it's the culmination of decades of design evolution and strategic necessity. Born from Russia's long tradition of intercontinental engineering, Sarmat was conceived to replace the aging R-36M2, a system that once defined Cold War deterrence. But technology never stands still, and neither do those who command it. At its core, Sarmat represents a new generation of long-range precision platforms, built to ensure reach, flexibility, and credibility on a truly global scale. Its engineers pursued three objectives: expand range, increase payload versatility, and make interception nearly impossible. To achieve this, they redesigned almost every element: propulsion, materials, guidance, and deployment architecture. The result is a launch vehicle capable of carrying multiple independent payloads, each programmable to follow its own trajectory and strike separate targets across continents. This innovation, known as MIRV, multiple independently targeted re-entry vehicles, transforms Sarmat from a single-strike weapon into a strategic equation. Instead of one impact, it can deliver many, each with precision measured in meters, even after traveling halfway around the world.
We have a launch sequence initiated.
But Sarmat's brilliance goes beyond engineering. It's a message, a symbol of technological maturity and strategic resolve. In an era where missile defense networks are advancing rapidly, developing a system that can outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast those defenses carries enormous psychological weight. To allies, it demonstrates readiness. To rivals, it demands caution. Its existence alone reshapes negotiations, military postures, and global power balances. Every successful test, every satellite-tracked launch, echoes across intelligence briefings and strategic simulations worldwide. Sarmat is not about aggression, it's about ensuring that no side can act without consequence. It embodies a philosophy deeply rooted in modern deterrence: peace is maintained not by intention, but by the certainty of response. As technology continues to advance, Sarmat stands as a chilling reminder of what human innovation can achieve, and how far nations will go to secure their place in the fragile equilibrium of power. Inside the beast, the engineering of Sarmat. When we talk about scale, precision, and engineering ambition, few systems in human history match the magnitude of the RS-28 Sarmat. This missile isn't just large, it's colossal. At launch, it weighs approximately 200 metric tons, stretching over 30 meters in length. It's designed to be deployed from reinforced underground silos, each constructed to withstand enormous pressure and to secure the missile until the moment of ignition. Once the engines ignite, Sarmat becomes a display of pure kinetic power. Fueled by advanced liquid propellant engines, it climbs into the upper atmosphere with astonishing acceleration before releasing its payload on a trajectory that can span the planet.
Maintaining stability within
its estimated range, between 15,000 and 18,000 kilometers, means it can theoretically reach almost any point on Earth. That figure alone redefines what intercontinental truly means. But range is only one part of the story. At the edge of space, when Sarmat re-enters the atmosphere, its payload section travels at over Mach 20 times the speed of sound. At that velocity, air becomes plasma, and the surrounding temperature rises to several thousand degrees. Few defense systems can track, let alone intercept, an object moving that fast. Yet the true genius of Sarmat lies in its payload architecture, MIRV technology, or multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. Instead of a single projectile, Sarmat carries a cluster of individual re-entry vehicles, each capable of striking separate targets.
Copy that.
In simple terms, one launch can deliver several precision strikes across multiple continents, each independently guided and timed.
We need to reevaluate
Each re-entry
the launch window.
vehicle is shielded, guided by
primary and
advanced inertial
secondary systems
systems
are nominal.
and capable of maneuvering in the
We are
terminal
ready to
phase,
proceed with launch
making it
sequence.
extremely difficult to predict or
The
intercept.
trajectory models indicate
This
a
transforms
2.7%
Sarmat from a weapon
deviation.
into a strategic
And the
equation,
holographic
one that
projection reflects
multiplies
that.
its deterrent value many times over. But behind the numbers, there's intent. Every kilometer of range, every fraction of a second in response time, is a statement of engineering dominance. It's not designed to be used, it's designed to be seen, known, and respected. In a world defined by rapid technological advancement, Sarmat stands as both a masterpiece of aerospace science and a reminder of humanity's paradox. The higher we push the boundaries of innovation, the greater our responsibility becomes to ensure that such power is never unleashed. That's the philosophy behind Sarmat: precision, presence, and the unspoken rule of global stability. The art of evasion: how Sarmat outsmarts every defense system. Sarmat isn't merely a missile built for range or power, it's a masterpiece of deception, precision, and intelligent design. Its creators didn't just ask how far it could fly, but how unpredictably it could move, how convincingly it could confuse, and how effectively it could defeat every layer of modern missile defense. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles that follow a predictable parabolic arc, Sarmat can rewrite its own flight path mid-course. It can vary its angle of attack, alter its altitude, and even approach targets through unconventional polar routes, including over the North or South Pole, forcing defense networks to cover more sky than ever before. This flexibility means that interception models, which rely on predicting trajectories, become obsolete the moment Sarmat leaves the launch silo. Once in flight, its MIRV system, multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, becomes the core of its complexity. After the main booster completes its burn, the upper stage releases a constellation of smaller re-entry vehicles, each on its own trajectory. To make tracking even harder, Sarmat carries decoys and radar reflectors that mimic the heat and radar signature of real payloads. The result: defense radars see dozens of identical objects racing toward them, but only a fraction are real. Differentiating truth from deception requires enormous processing power, and time, the one resource defenders never have. Sarmat's re-entry vehicles aren't passive passengers either. Many are designed with limited maneuverability, allowing them to adjust their path even during the final descent. Combined with extreme speed, reported to exceed Mach 20 during re-entry, this creates a chaotic, near-impossible intercept scenario. A fraction of a second's delay can mean the difference between interception and impact. Add to that hypersonic glide capabilities, which allows some payloads to skim the upper atmosphere, changing direction at high speed, and you get a weapon that doesn't just fly fast, it thinks fast. It adapts, evolves, and refuses to be predictable. In essence, Sarmat is not a single projectile, it's an entire deception ecosystem. Every radar echo, every decoy, every unpredictable maneuver is part of its strategy, to overwhelm, confuse, and exhaust any defense network. Its brilliance lies not only in raw speed or destructive power, but in psychology, forcing adversaries to prepare for everything, knowing they can stop almost nothing. That is the true genius of Sarmat: power not just in what it can do, but in the uncertainty it creates. Deployment and platform strategy: Sarmat in the deterrence ecosystem. RS-28 Sarmat is engineered for launch from hardened fixed silos, reinforced concrete bunkers buried deep beneath the surface and embedded within a web of security and infrastructure. These silos are not mere storage pits, they are fully integrated launch complexes with mechanical ejection systems, encrypted command links to national control centers, redundant fire control electronics, and environmental protection systems designed to preserve readiness under extreme conditions. Fixed silos offer clear operational benefits. They enable large-scale storage and rapid readiness, multiple missiles can be maintained in a ready state across dispersed fields, and a properly configured silo can transition from standby to launch far faster than many mobile alternatives. Logistically, silo basing simplifies maintenance cycles, facilitates frequent testing, and allows for centralized oversight of complex fueling and telemetry systems.
What is going on?
Yet the strategic calculus is more nuanced. The principal vulnerability of a silo is its known location. In a full-scale conflict scenario, adversaries can prioritize hardened strike plans against fixed sites, making survivability contingent on robust dispersal, camouflage, and active defense measures. That vulnerability explains why modern deterrence doctrine emphasizes platform diversity rather than reliance on any single delivery mode. Contemporary strategy therefore pairs silo-launched systems like Sarmat with two complementary legs: submerged platforms, strategic submarines, and mobile ground systems. Submarines, operating covertly across vast oceans, contribute unpredictability and endurance. Their stealth makes them difficult to locate and target. Mobile launchers, by contrast, complicate enemy targeting with movement and concealment, forcing adversaries to allocate resources to wide-area search and tracking rather than focused strikes. Operationally, integrating Sarmat into this multi-platform posture demands extensive logistics and security, continuous maintenance of silo environments, routine verification of guidance and telemetry, secure and redundant command channels, and layered perimeter defenses. Command authorities must also manage dispersal protocols and launch authorization procedures that balance responsiveness with safeguards. In tactical terms, a silo-based Sarmat provides a strategic punch, a high-capacity, rapid response asset within a broader network. Its value is not solely in a single launch, but in how it contributes to a resilient, multi-layered deterrent. Silos offer volume and readiness, submarines offer concealment and continuity, and mobile units provide agility. Together, they create a resilient architecture intended to ensure that a credible retaliatory capability remains under all plausible contingencies, an essential feature of modern strategic stability. Strategic and political significance, the power behind the message. Weapons of ultimate reach are never just about engineering, they are a form of language, a dialogue written in capability and consequence. The RS-28 Sarmat speaks that language fluently. Its existence communicates a clear and deliberate message: any act of aggression will be met with a response that cannot be ignored. This is the essence of deterrence, preventing war not through words, but through the certainty of retaliation. Sarmat's design is as much about psychology as physics. It represents assurance to allies, caution to rivals, and stability through fear, a paradox that has defined global strategy for decades. But with that power comes complexity. The more nations acquire such far-reaching systems, the greater the risks of miscalculation, misinterpretation, and escalation. One false radar reading, one misunderstood signal, can spiral into a chain of irreversible events. That is why systems like Sarmat are as much a political instrument as they are a military one. They demand discipline, intelligence accuracy, and reliable communication channels to prevent crisis from becoming catastrophe. In geopolitical terms, Sarmat strengthens Russia's strategic posture. It reshapes the diplomatic table, from arms control negotiations to regional influence, simply by existing. Every demonstration, every successful test, becomes part of a broader narrative of technological confidence and political leverage. For military planners and policymakers alike, Sarmat is not merely a missile, it is a statement, a reminder that in the balance of global power, credibility is measured not only by strength, but by restraint. In a world increasingly defined by precision and uncertainty, the lesson remains timeless: deterrence may keep the peace, but it is a peace that must be managed carefully, through communication, control, and constant vigilance. Countermeasures and the future, how the world responds to Sarmat, almost equals 300 words. Can any nation truly defend against a system like Sarmat? The honest answer, for now, is not entirely. Current missile defense networks, such as the U.S. THAAD, Patriot PAC-3, and ground-based mid-course defense, GMD, are optimized for intercepting limited threats or regional attacks, not for a high-speed, multi-payload intercontinental system deploying decoys and unpredictable trajectories.
We need to ensure global stability.
Recognizing this challenge, the United States and several allied nations have begun reimagining the architecture of global defense. The most ambitious initiatives revolve around space-based sensor constellations, designed to track missiles continuously from launch to impact.
Global deterrence is a
Projects like the U.S.
requiring careful
Next-generation overhead persistent infrared, next-gen OPA, satellites and the hypersonic and ballistic tracking space sensor, HBTSS, network aim to create an unbroken chain of detection, turning Earth's orbit into a permanent early warning shield. Meanwhile, efforts are underway to integrate artificial intelligence into missile defense systems. The goal: identify decoys, predict maneuvering warheads, and cue interceptors within seconds instead of minutes. By combining AI pattern recognition with real-time data fusion from land, sea, and space assets, militaries hope to compress the decision loop fast enough to match hypersonic speeds. In parallel, new multi-layered interception systems are being explored, from space interceptors to directed energy weapons like high-powered lasers. While these technologies remain experimental, their eventual purpose is clear: to engage threats at multiple phases of flight, from boost to terminal. However, even as defenses evolve, experts acknowledge that technology alone cannot guarantee safety. Diplomatic channels, transparency measures, and arms control frameworks remain vital to prevent misunderstanding and escalation. The future will not be defined by who builds the fastest missile, but by who learns to see and react first, a race between sensors and response, between innovation and restraint. And in that race, Sarmat has already changed the rules. Conclusion: the RS-28 Sarmat stands as a symbol of human ingenuity, a technological achievement that pushes the limits of physics, precision, and engineering. But it is also a reminder of something deeper: the limits of power itself. For every leap forward in capability comes a greater responsibility to manage, to control, and to understand. Sarmat ensures deterrence, but it also demands wisdom. In a world where strategic technology evolves faster than diplomacy, the true challenge isn't just building powerful systems, it's maintaining stability among those who wield them. That balance, fragile yet vital, depends on transparency, crisis management, and international dialogue. Because even the most advanced weapons mean little if peace cannot be preserved. If you found this breakdown insightful, please leave a like, share it with others who value knowledge over noise, and subscribe to WarTech World for more deep dives into the technology, strategy, and science that shape global defense. Tell us in the comments, what fascinates you most about Sarmat, its engineering brilliance, or its strategic meaning. Thank you for watching, and remember, knowledge is the most powerful weapon we can share. See you in the next video.